Hi everybody, Christy here today, and I'm going to show you how to make this Pawsome card. See what I did there? So I am using all Catherine Pooler supplies. I'm using the Peking Pets stamp set. That's what this stamp set is. And there are some coordinating dies as well that goes with it. So I'm also stamping this on watercolor cardstock because I love using my Catherine Pooler inks as watercolors. They're really versatile. You can use them obviously as regular inks, but then they react with water really, really well. So I'll be honest with you, I hardly use any other ink now because I can just constantly use my Catherine Pooler inks. So you can see I stamped a couple different ones there off to the side, and I am just coming in. I sped up the video really fast because I didn't want you to get bored with my watercoloring. I just came in with that light sand castle and kind of did like a bottom. It's called a wash. So when you just add either all water or just a real light amount of water with color, and then that way it saturates the paper a little bit, and then you have a little more control over how you want to blend it. So with watercoloring, there's really no wrong way to watercolor. And what's really fun about watercoloring is it's really forgiving. Whether you're using the paint or the inks, I think just in general, it's really forgiving because if you screw up, you can always add water and you can kind of pat stuff away with a paper towel or just blend it away with more water in your brush. So I'm using a water brush, but you can use regular water with a paintbrush as well. So I just cut a little bit of that patterned paper, and now I am using the coordinating die cut here for the Peking Pet stamp set, and I'm just securing it down. You can see that on there. And now these are all the different inks that I'm using. So I decided that these little paw prints are so cute, and I just have to say that we just got a puppy, so this was like the perfect stamp set for me to be working with because they're so cute. So I stamped a bunch of those little paws there. I cut out a few for this card. I actually cut them all out, and then I have them sitting off to the side because I'm sure that I'll use them again. And then for the background, I actually matched that pattern paper. So these are all the different colors that I am using, matching that patterned paper there. So I'm just going to read off all the ink colors for you just so you know. I used It's a Boy, Orange Twist, Lime Ricky, Samba, and then Sandcastle, Midnight, Icing on the Cake was for the dog. And then I'm also using Suede Shoes, which you can see right there. So same thing when you're doing like a watercolor type background. Just like if you're coloring an image, kind of do it, I mean, you don't have to. I do it the same way, where I start out with the light color, and then I come in and I add more and more and more. And don't forget, you can either let it dry in between or hit it with a heat gun, which is what I tend to do, because once you have that one layer down there and then you keep adding color on it, you kind of start getting that like watercolor look that we all are aiming to get, where you have the multiple layers and you can just kind of see through it, like it's transparent on the top, but you can see underneath, and it's a beautiful watercolor look that we are all trying to achieve. So look at this adorable little word die. It's part of the Pawsome word die set. So I just die cut it out of Catherine's premium white cardstock, and I decided that I was just going to leave it white. I did throw some transfer tape on the back, just kind of turn it into a sticker, so I didn't have any extra adhesive on there. And then I'm just stamping the your onto there. You can see that I kind of I used a Post-it to mask it out. That's from the One-Liner Sentiments, and I used some more Catherine Pooler ink there to stamp that on there. So remember, you can stretch your stamps. You don't have to use full sentiments. If you want to cut them apart, you can. I do it with some of my stamps, but like honestly, there's some I just don't want to cut them apart. So using that Post-it note, especially if you're using like a Misty stamping tool or any other stamping tool, really can stretch them far without you worrying about cutting the wrong thing or ruining your stamps or anything like that, which cutting them won't ruin them, but then obviously they're apart all the time. So next, I just kind of wanted to go ahead and start assembling the card. So I used some foam squares because I wanted his cute little head to be popped up. And then I'm using the Santa Fe sequins. And I just have some of these mini dots. I use those all the time for my sequins. So you can see I just kind of place the sequins on there, and then I throw like where I'm going to put them, I decide first, and then I put them onto the dots, and then it's an easy way to get them to stick to the card. You don't have to worry about like, I mean, obviously you can use glue, but then I don't have to worry about anything drying because I am a lazy, I should say impatient. I'm not lazy. I'm an impatient crafter, so I don't like to wait for things to dry. So then finally, I wanted to complete this card, so I just used foam squares to attach it together, and here it is. This is the finished piece. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day.